Happy Sunday, guys. All in Crypto here, and welcome back, beautiful people, for another YouTube video. This is going to be your daily cryptocurrency market update. It's coming out a little bit later than normal. I'm currently traveling over the weekend, but still very much committed to bringing you guys a crypto market update. So before I go on and present this video, which is mainly going to be looking at the week ahead, we know the narrative right now. We know the story. We know what's driving markets. Ultimately, it's to do with implied rates, where they're going, inflation, Fed's decision as a result of this. And this week, there's going to be a number of data points that are potentially going to help us navigate the waters that we're currently in and hopefully avoid crashing into a rock. But yeah, before I start the video, guys, if you guys can do me a massive favor, leave me a like and a comment. It really helps promote this video far and wide. You know, I really do believe that the content we bring for the cryptocurrency market is genuine, probably some of the most genuine content out there, and actually accurate. You know, I am a trader and an investor. I've been doing it for a living now for a while. And, you know, in the coming months, what we are going to start doing is revealing all our trades with, you know, so the trades that we take every month, we may release that quarterly, just so that, you know, there's some kind of a element of truth. You know, there's so many traders out there on Twitter and on YouTube that tell you they're traders, and you've never ever seen a P&L or a trade account. They just tell you they made this much money, and they might show you a screenshot of, you know, a Bybit 30x leverage trade that's up 100%. It's nonsense, and we're really looking to set the standards in this industry and uphold some sort of truth. So let me stop rambling on, guys. I do apologize about that. You know the score. If you've been watching me daily, you know what we're looking for. This is what we're looking for, and we're looking to take advantage of this on the way down. If you want to find out more about that, please feel free to join my Patreon and get on board with me and my team and what we're doing, what we're investing in, and how we're looking to play the market. But this is largely what we're looking at. And given these levels on the fib from up here, you interacted with the 0786. Now you're looking to be making your way to the 0618. This is healthy. This is perfect. This is kind of what we want to see, despite all the macro sort of backdrop. And there are definitely, or is definitely, the scope for a 05 and a 0382 retest. We wouldn't want to go much further than that, because then you've already retraced more than you've advanced, and that kind of gives you some inclination, and of course you then have ran your left shoulder and the pattern's no longer valid, that you're going lower. But this is all going to depend on the macro. Bitcoin has been trying to swim against the stream, swim against the tide for a while now, with a doom and gloom macro backdrop. We've got the dollar, which is doing well, and we now have the yields, which are absolutely ripping. Now this week, with the data that we're getting, we're not going to get the CPI for the US, but we're going to have a number of clues left for us. And then I just want to talk about actually a little bit about regulations and how they are coming fast. And actually regulation is what take this industry from a 1 trillion to a 10, potentially one day hundreds of $1 trillion industry. Certainly if you look at what's going to be ran on the blockchain, it'll be in the hundreds of trillions. It doesn't mean that the individual cryptos will accrue those kind of market caps. Just that's the kind of value that it will facilitate in terms of moving around. So let's take a look at the week ahead and highlight some important ones. Monday, you've got the UK PMI. You've got Canada's Ivory or IV PMI. So these are inflationary and a way to look at inflation broadly, but it's not US, so it's not the kind of main one. However, on Tuesday, you've got the Royal Bank of Australia rate decision. You've got China's trade detail. And the real one is you've got the Fed Chair's Powell's testimony. So the Fed Chairman will appear before the US lawmakers. They're going to ask him a series of questions, and essentially this is going to wobble or move the dollar and the risk on markets, depending on what he says. Now, I'm going to be watching this in full. I will do a report for my patrons, and of course, you know, you guys are welcome to watch this as well in full, because it's going to be very telling. He is the market maestro. He is the piper to the markets, essentially, with what he does and doesn't do with rate hikes. And I'm talking even globally, if you look at the dollar and how it's embedded in everything. So this is going to be significant. And then on Wednesday, you got the US trade balance deficit to widen, which is an obvious, is going to continue to widen. Then you got Bank of Canada rate decision. You got Fed Powell's testimony, which is also going to be interesting. And then you've got crude oil inventories, which are at a staggering low. I think, 44-year plus low, because obviously they're trying to fight inflation. And then on Thursday, you've got China's CPI, which will be interesting. You've got the US initial jobless claims, which will be interesting. The Bank of Japan's rate decision. yeah, sort of, you kind of know what to expect with that. UK GDP, which is going to be interesting for January. And then this is the big one. This is the US non-farm payroll, and it's expected to fall. They had a whopping, which really bolstered the dollar, and this is kind of one thing that's led us on the path that we've been on. Oh no, inflation, the dollar, the yields, is because we had this 517,000 jobs added, and I think that the estimates were like 250,000. Just scandalous, crazy. I don't actually believe it, but whatever. But this, of course, is set to fall, but still, it's looking to fall to 200. I wouldn't be surprised if this beats estimates, but actually this could dampen the dollar and actually give the risk markets the kind of cover that they need to move forward. So this, of course, is all going to be running up into next week. So not the week coming starting Monday, which is the 6th. The following week, which is when we have the CPI. And then the week after that, we've got the rate decision, which is going to be very, very telling. So you need to watch all this. This is all going to play through to markets. As crypto investors and traders, if you want to take it seriously, you need to be watching other markets. It's just a case of us watching and waiting at this point and seeing where this comes to, and acting accordingly. Have a plan. Don't just be a victim to the markets. Even if you're wrong, know where you're wrong and adjust accordingly. And that's really, what you need to do now as a crypto investor in the kind of environment they're in. There are environments where you can just buy, hold, and you're doing well. But in an environment where it's like a whirlwind economically right now, I don't think I've spoke to anyone that hasn't said this is the most uncertain economic time period they've ever lived through. And we're trying to navigate those waters, and hopefully you guys appreciate that. We had an announcement from Bybit yesterday. Now, I don't really typically use Bybit, but notice on suspension of US payments via bank transfers. So we know that the US is on a war crusade. This came out literally yesterday. We have temporarily suspended US deposits via wire transfers, including SWIFT, due to service outage from our endpoint processing partner until further notice. So it'll be... I think there's a lot of strain getting put on the US's involvement with crypto exchanges. I honestly do believe this, guys, when I say it. I think Gensler and his crew are basically just clearing the way for the institutions. If you look at what they've levied against Binance, it's actually unfounded. You've got Senator Warren, who's accusing Binance of $10 billion worth of frauded, money laundered transactions for criminals and all sorts of craziness, and I think this is going to continue. But I just want to actually give you a little bit of an interesting thing here that I've been thinking about recently. Despite everything going on, how's Bitcoin's price doing? You would expect, with this sort of regulatory scrutiny, if there was nothing holding this market, for the price to tank. It's not. There's a bit of alpha in what I've just said there. I have a plan. And again, if you guys want to get on board with that, find out what I'm buying, where I'm buying. We've done very, very well, better than most since the start of the year, and we're going to continue to do so because that's just what we do, guys. And if you want to find out more about that, again, link in the description. So you need to watch all this data moving forwards. You need to look at how the market reacts, because this is all going to feed into, certainly the non-farm payroll is going to be the big one, because this is what kind of threw us on a bit of a wobbler. You want to see that come down for the dollar. And you don't, the thing is as well with the non-farm payroll, this is what's backing Jerome to be Jerome, and say, right, we're going to go after everyone and up rates and continue to do it whilst we have a strong labour market. I think it's baloney. I think there's a great interview that was put out from Francis Hunt. You guys will know I'm a big fan of Francis. We have him on the show regularly. The Market Sniper with Danielle DiMartini. Booth, I think. Not Danielle DiMartini. Forgive me for mispronunciation of her name, but it's brilliant. It talks about actually just how fragile things are, despite maybe looking quite positive on the surface, or deemed positive on the surface, and how we've kind of gone from a soft landing to a no landing to a, okay, we don't know, is it going to be a kind of emergency stop landing? So that's really all I've got for you guys. It was just a short and sweet one. I want to stay up to date with you guys every single day, keep you informed with my thoughts, where we're going, what we're doing. And that's kind of what this video has been all about. So watch for these guys. I'm going to love and leave you on that note. Again, if you've enjoyed the content, like is always greatly appreciated. So as a comment, and I'll catch you all in the next YouTube video, guys. Stay tuned for this week. We've got some amazing interviews coming out. We are going to continue to interview projects. And if there's any projects out there that you guys want me to interview, let me know in the comment section and we'll go aggressively after them. Maybe that's not the right choice of words there. We will try and facilitate podcasts with these individuals because we are committed on this channel not only to help you guys with your crypto investment journeys on a non-advisory basis, but also educate people. That's really what we want this channel to be about. All in Crypto is set to be your one-stop shop for crypto. Everything you need, whether it's the market, whether it's insight, and that's what we intend to be. All I've got for you guys, rambling on now. See you in the next one.